This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never ever know what love can do once it's shared. I'm not rich in numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they're never silenced. Yet I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice redo? But I've seen hope rise when the community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing: send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tide, scared or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just the loud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing. Every single time we pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name. And I trust what He's doing even when I can't see the way. This is Mo and Cole. Say a prayer for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers. Take your vitamins. And remember, even something small can do really big things.
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see all of you. It has been such a long time since I've been here, and but I'll tell you guys all about that in just a few minutes. But Heather Licious, it's so very good to see you, and Van, always good to see you, and Chris, how are you? How are you, Eddie? I'm so glad to see you, and Wolfie, how are you? And Elizabeth, I'm so glad to see all you guys. I'm so very glad to see all you guys. It has been a whole month since I've been here, and you guys know usually that I'm here at least once a week because each stream that I do, I try to memorize it and I do a lot of research. And I haven't been formally diagnosed, but I believe I have some type of ADD. And all my friends, they'll tell you, yeah, yeah, she does. And so it's like I can only fit so much in my brain at once, and I haven't been able to focus lately. And then it's just crime sometimes it's just so much in the world. It's hard to, it's good for us to take breaks too, basically, is what I'm saying. And two of my moderators lost their beloved pets, and we've just been going through it. But of course, I had to come back today to talk to you guys about little Ja'Derrius. I don't like to say covered because I'm definitely not a journalist, so I don't cover cases. I get on here and talk about them and try to use my little platform to bring awareness that I can. And so I've spoken about him on two previous live streams, and he has been located now. And so of course I wanted to come back and tell you guys about that. Let me see here. I So first, okay, it has been since June the 5th since he was last seen. And he was such a little fella, you guys. He was 100 pounds and like barely over 5 feet tall, if I remember correctly. And he was, yeah, 5 feet tall exactly, and 98 pounds. Bless his little heart, a little fella. He was so little that he could ride a kid's bike, and that's what he was doing. It was down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And it was the beginning of summer, and he was so excited, you guys. He got his first little job, and he was waiting to get his second paycheck. He was so excited about, and they said he was already thinking about what he could do with his money, and this fall, well, right about now, the youngins are starting back school, and he would have been a sophomore this year. But on that day, hey hippie, how are you? So good to see you. Um, so he went on that night. He was riding a little red bicycle, a kid's bicycle, and he had went to see one of his long time friends. She was 16, and he's 15. I don't know if I told you guys that, but he was never seen again. And it was about 2 a.m. on the 5th when he was supposedly last seen. And on the 6th, his family reported him missing. So, but first, I want to show you guys just a few little things that I have gathered around the internet of him. You guys know that I like to tell you things about the victims in life. And let's see here. Let me show you guys this. I'll have to get my buttons right. Oh, this is him dancing. I forget what party this was at. Let me turn the music off so they won't ding us, because they've got quite a look at him. He's smaller than all the rest of them, you guys. And when you see the monster that's alleged for taking his life, he is 6 feet something, a big dude. And let me show you guys this one too that I found. Let me see here. This one's not wanting to share. I'll have to come back and get you guys. I believe that it looks like rain outside, so hopefully my internet don't go out. If it does, let me see here. Let me see here. And oh, you guys remember this one that this one will absolutely break your heart. Well, let me show you guys this one first. This is his best friend, and the best friend's mama posted this, and she said that she feels guilty that they moved away. She feels if they hadn't moved away, then he might still be here, and this is him and one of his. Whoa. Whoa. We're jamming out. Sorry about that, guys. Headphone, well, that'll wake you up, won't it? Just a young kid, young kids doing what they do. Let me see here. I closed my window. I'll have to get it back for us. I'm a total newbie. You miss a few weeks and you forget which buttons to press. I'll get us there. Let me see here. Okay, I'm coming back to get you guys. Weather has been so weird, you guys, and we're going to talk about that too. They had to search the landfill 6 weeks for him, and I looked up the weather, what the weather's been like. Well, before the 6 weeks at the landfill, they were doing searches around the area, and it was the hurricane came, and so they had to put off searches for that. And then the 6 weeks at the landfill, the heat indexes got up to 105 degrees in Louisiana. The humidity is awful. And then that's also with all of the protective gear that they all have to wear, you know? So I've been praying for those searchers this whole time because I felt awful for them. So let me see here. And then this one, you guys, this one, let me see here. His mama posted. Let me see here. This one.
Oh, it's so hard to let go.
We're gonna put you in a choir.
But the God that I know, I'll never let you go.
No. And then this one that I wanted to show you guys. His teacher posted this, one of his old teachers, and let me read to you what it says. She said, I wanted to bless y'all with a glimpse of how Ja'Derrius was when interacting with him. Before his algebra teacher came, I thugged it out with my 9th grade crew. This is the perfect depiction of the true Ja'Derrius, always clowning and always smiling. He would try to act as if he were 7 feet, but I had to remind him that we were about the same height. On this day, we were going over classroom expectations. He was purposely adding things on the board like you can eat in class all the time, get the answers from ChatGPT, etc. At this moment, he had just thought of something that he knew was the complete opposite of what his group should write. I pray for his parents, family, friends, teachers, and staff who had the pleasure of knowing him. This is how I choose to remember him. Breaks my heart to think of him anything other than happy. Pray for him and today's young adults. They often endure so much. So I thought that was nice. And so I wanted to show you guys this video from his family when he first went missing. And it's his mama and his mom and dad. And they will absolutely break your hearts. I don't think that he has any siblings. Not that I found anyway. So that you guys let me know if you can hear the sound because sometimes it messes up.
Alexis, thank you. It has been a week since family members say they've seen a 15-year-old Baton Rouge teen.
Police told News 2's David Hamilton that the teen's suspicious disappearance has them searching along with the family for answers.
Michael Sylvia, after a week of not hearing anything from 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather, his family fears for the worst. Missing person flyers cover the neighborhood where Ja'Derrius Minnieweather was last seen. 7 days have passed since his family last heard from him.
At 10:23 a.m. this morning, made 7 days without me hearing his voice. If somebody knows something, please tell these people.
His grandmother, Joanna Brooks, describes Ja'Derrius as
they put out the missing report on the 6th, and the first press conference they did was the 17th, I believe. I'll have to look at my notes, but his parents were on the news and stuff before that, and I really don't think that the police would have taken it as seriously as they did if his parents and his mama and stuff didn't speak out like they were doing. And so it still took them more days than I would have liked.
Around 5 feet tall, weighing just under 100 pounds. She says he's a hardworking teen who loves spending time with his family. Through a city summer work program, he recently started working at a Stroma High School, and his grandmother tells me he was looking forward to his second paycheck. His family tells me that going a week without contacting his parents or grandparents does not fit his character.
He's only 15 years old. You know, he's outgoing. He loved me. He would have called me. I know he would. Something happened to him because I know he would have called me by now.
The uncertainty, the family tells me, has been one of the hardest parts.
It's the not knowing that's killing me. That's about to eat me up, not knowing where my baby at. I might not been with him 24/7, but I knew where he was at. I talked to that baby every day.
Emotions running high.
I'm trying my best, baby.
That's his dad, and he was very close with his family, and also there's an aunt and cousins, and he had a huge loving family. You could tell they were really close.
I'ma find you. That's day 7. We ain't had no information.
As they reach 1
All
week
I
with
want
no
is my
updates.
baby. I'll give anything for my child. Please give me my baby. Please.
Police remain tight-lipped about this case. They do tell me they are working several leads, and they do confirm they're concerned enough about this 15-year-old's disappearance that they are actively investigating. Michael.
Okay, so then we find out. Remember, I told you guys that he was seen last at his little friend girl's house, right? On the early morning hours of the 5th. Well, when it comes to June the 10th, we first learn about Maurice Parms. And he is charged with, it says, Baton Rouge Police detectives arrested Maurice Parms, 51, for having an inappropriate relationship with a 16-year-old female juvenile. Parms was arrested for second-degree rape, trafficking, oh gosh, you guys, sexual purposes, and indecent behavior with juveniles. Well, that was in the wrong place. That's what he was recently arrested for. Let me see if I got the right one. I got him out of order. Nope. Well, on the 10th, he was arrested for, okay, so when Ja'Derrius went missing, his friend girl that he went to visit, they search her phone, right? Well, when they get in there, they realize that she's been having an inappropriate relationship with this Parms guy. And it says, while he was arrested on the 10th for indecent behavior and computer-aided solicitation, both felonies. It says, while searching the girl's phone, authorities discovered several cash payments allegedly being sent to the girl from his Cash App. The victim then told police that she began communicating with him in September 2025, mainly using a messaging app called Text Now. They noted several messages where Parms allegedly referred to the girl as Bae and told her that he loves her. An arrest report states that Parms referenced them being in a relationship and that he can't wait until people can see what they have. He also referred to his own 7-year-old daughter as the teen's stepdaughter. According to police, the girl also stated that Parms would allegedly take her to stores and buy her items. So that's what he was first arrested for on the 10th. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. How are you? And Doodle came in. It's so good to see you guys. And then you guys, after he was arrested for that, he bonded out 3 days later on a $7,500 bond. That's all it was. Not $75,000, $7,500. That was it. And so everybody was really upset about that because I saw one news source in that area was reporting that he was the number one suspect in Ja'Derrius's disappearance. It was still a disappearance at this time, but he still bonded out. And and so they continued their searches, and then 10 days later, before that, on this, there is the first press conference that comes on the 17th, and they announce a reward, and you can tell that the mayor and the DA there, they seem very, 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 you don't see this enough, I don't think, but you can tell that they really, really care. And they call Ja'Derrius the son of Baton Rouge. And they say that you mess with one of our kids, you mess with all of us. That's like in my holler. You mess with one of us, you get the whole holler on you. Y'all feel me? You know what I'm saying? And so you could tell that they really, really cared. And the family was there at their press conference with them and stuff like that. So that was on the 17th. And then on the 20th, that's when everything comes down, and Parms is arrested for murder, and that's when we first learn that what they believe happened to Ja'Derrius, and it's really, really bad, you guys. I'll play this video, and then I have some more stuff to read to you guys after this.
Good afternoon. Welcome to News 2 at 10. I'm Mia Monet. First at 10, an arrest has been made in connection to the disappearance of 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather. This all took place today. 51-year-old Maurice Parms was arrested this morning and charged with first-degree murder. We have our very own reporter on the scene. News 2's Angelica Butine has the very latest on what we know now about Maurice Parms and the death of Ja'Derrius Minnieweather. Angelica.
This is the second time Maurice Parms has been arrested just this month. First, he was arrested on charges of indecent behavior with juveniles and computer-aided solicitation of a minor. And now he is arrested for first-degree murder. 51-year-old Maurice Parms was silent as detectives walked him to a police unit en route to Parish Prison.
We just watched those videos of Ja'Derrius dancing, and even his classmates were taller than him. Look how tall this guy is. And warning, he allegedly beat him terribly bad, ended his life, and they found blood stains in the area, and it is, at first, they first ran into Parms the day after the same day that Ja'Derrius was reported missing, so they had their eyes on him day one, and he said, well, supposedly, him and the 16-year-old girl, they had been out to eat, and when they get back, Ja'Derrius had been waiting at her house for her, and Ja'Derrius said, like, hey, dude, this does not look good. This relationship is not right. I don't know exactly what he said, but he was letting him know it's not right you seeing this underage girl, Well, apparently, this big guy couldn't take it, allegedly, and he beat that little fella to death and hid him and came back and disposed of his body. And in the early morning hours of the 5th, and the trash truck came at 10 something that morning, picked up the trash, and they actually have a video in the back of the trash truck, and it shows more than, it's pretty bad, and it's not out there. I haven't seen it. Nobody's seen it. The family did ask to see it to make sure that they were looking at the right place, but the district attorney was like, if I show it to them, it becomes public record and it'll be out there, you know. So he didn't show them that, and I thank God that he didn't show them that, because they don't need to see stuff like that. And you guys know recently in this community that it's been theory, speculation recently that another missing child, that there's video of that. And it makes me really, really, really angry, because it's flippant, and it's just like, this is bad enough when it's true and these parents are having to deal with that. But when it's not true and a child is still missing, we should hope for the very best, you know, and not put out things like that. Elizabeth says, Doodle is another amazing creator. She shares cases about folks that not everyone else shares. She is a lot like Mo. Thank you. Thank you so very much. She is. I love Doodle. And so I just felt it on my heart that I needed to say that, because there is verifiable proof that there's video of this. And so back to this is when he is first arrested, and he tells the cops that he went home that night about 11 p.m. and that's all. He never left or anything, but they have evidence to the contrary, of course. And then after that, after the first time that he spoke with police on that first day, he hasn't spoken with them since. Didn't tell them anything about where Ja'Derrius would be located. Nothing. So he couldn't even do the very least for humanity after he did the very worst. He couldn't even help, you know. So this is his perp walk when he's first arrested.
He's charged with first-degree murder, accused in the disappearance and death of 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather.
Found enough probable cause to charge Mr. Parms with the first-degree murder of Ja'Derrius.
Investigators spent hours searching Parms' home on Webb Drive Saturday morning. Inside, police say they found evidence suggesting Minnieweather had been beaten to death and his body disposed of after the attack.
My grandfather heard it, and he woke me up, and we came outside, and it was just flooded with police.
Ashley Nicole, a neighbor and mother of 3, says the heavy police presence quickly drew the attention of the entire neighborhood.
As a mother myself, it hurt my heart, you know, that another mother is grieving, searching for her child.
City leaders say the focus remains on finding answers in the teen's disappearance. Ja'Derrius' body has not been found.
You fool with our children, hell's coming with it. You know, and we will not rest until justice is served.
The mayor says law enforcement will continue pursuing the case until it's resolved.
And we will hunt you down. We will find you. Don't fool with our babies in Baton Rouge.
Volunteer search crews say their arrest does not change their mission. They will continue for Ja'Derrius.
It doesn't change our search methodology. It doesn't change our eagerness to find him. And we're going to keep looking. We're going to keep doing what we do.
This investigation is still ongoing, and WBRZ is working to find more information on what.
That was Josh from the Cajun Navy, Josh Gill, and I can tell that this case was very, very close to him too. He walked over 50 miles himself, and they searched. In one video, I'll show you guys. They searched. He tells you how much they searched and stuff like that. And so he's arrested, and then a few days later, well, it was on the 20th, and I believe the 26th is when we first learn that he's believed to be in the landfill. And so I wanted to show you guys that video.
The case of the missing Baton Rouge teen has taken yet another unfortunate turn.
Yeah, city and parish leaders say they've yet to find the body of 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather, but they believe they know where to look. Right now, Louisiana First News reporter Ethan Good is joining us live from downtown with an update on the ongoing case. Ethan?
Well, today marks a major shift in this investigation. Now, it is said that 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather's body is believed to be in the North Landfill. Officials say they believe his body was picked up along a trash collection route and transported to the landfill, which is about 400 acres. They stress this will be a massive search that will not happen overnight.
Of strong evidence that Ja'Derrius' body is in the Baton Rouge landfill.
Investigators believe that Ja'Derrius was picked up on a collection route and taken to the North Landfill, which is where we are now all working together on a massive operation to find his remains.
Now, just to be clear, police say they have not recovered Ja'Derrius' body, and the man charged in this case, Maurice Parms, has not told investigators where it is. And I also want to add that crews are working to secure the landfill, which what they say will be a lengthy search.
I forgot to read to you guys. I don't have the arrest affidavit, but I've gathered through the different articles and I put it in my notes. So I wanted to read to you guys what I have. Let me see here. Let me get us something to look at. Let's see here. This is Ja'Derrius and his mama. I was gonna put the perpetrator's picture up there, but excuse me, ain't nobody want to look at his ugly mug. Hey Juan, how are you? So good to see you. Thank you so much. So it says that the warrant outlines that, he went to visit the 16-year-old girl, a longtime friend of his, and so he was waiting on her, and it says Parms and the girl later arrived at the home in a white 2014 GMC Sierra 1500, and Minnieweather and Parms apparently got into a very tense disagreement over how the older man was acting toward the 16-year-old girl. Parms then left and returned to his residence. That's what he was saying. All statements of those interviewed were in accord with each other. This was confirmed from all witnesses. Oh, I saw that this morning when I was reading over my notes. So apparently the girl or whoever that was there said the same thing, that Parms went home, which maybe that's what they thought. They didn't see anything. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but that in accord with each other, that struck me earlier when I was reading that. So when Parms was questioned about his whereabouts for June 4th into 5th, Parms told officers he was at the location for a short time and left shortly after 11 p.m. He went home and did not leave his residence again until the next morning when he left for work. However, officers say surveillance video contradicted his statements. Officers then relied on cameras to follow the victim's route back home in the early morning hours of June 5th. They were able to determine where something may have happened, preventing him from coming into camera view. During daylight hours, officers said the location had evidence of blood stains. The warrant says surveillance video showed officers a tall male riding the kid's bike, getting off the bike and throwing it into some bushes. The tall black male is then seen taking off a black mask, gloves, and a t-shirt. He then throws these items into several garbage cans. Officers said they saw the man rolling a garbage can to the road. The garbage went out at 6 a.m. on June 5th. A minute later, the man was seen riding the kid's bike. So this big, tall dude was riding this little kid's bike. Detectives say they immediately recognized the man as Maurice Parms. Parms was then seen walking back toward the direction of his home, which is a short walk away. From then, officers said they were able to see Parms allegedly wiping areas of his truck down with a rag. The warrant says officers did find evidence of Parms wiping blood evidence from his truck. These stains were a larger amount of blood which has soaked into the area. This corroborated the witness's statement of how violently the tall black male was beating the smaller person. So they have witnesses of even the beating part, you guys, and they have camera evidence. So they have a whole lot in this case. And thank God that they found Ja'Derrius so he could have a proper burial, but also thank God, that they found him. I know that there are a lot of cases where homicide has been proven, but it's, evidence. I hate to even say remains. That's why I didn't put it in my title, I don't think. I hate to even say that remains, but the body is evidence too, so I'm really glad that they found him for that too. Hey, Music City Mom, that's okay. That's okay. You guys, Music City Mom, yesterday after I scheduled my live, or the day before, she sent me a DM and she said she was glad to see that I was going live and she missed me, and that just made my day. That just made my day. Hey, Tony, good to see you. Good afternoon. Because I have anxiety really bad, you guys, and before I come live a lot, I have to work through that. And so just knowing that you guys like to hang out with me and listen to the cases that I care about too, it really, really means a whole lot. And I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so let's see here. Officers added there is video proof of the tall black male was beating the smaller person badly, and this altercation went on several minutes. Oh my goodness. So they have eyewitnesses and they have video proof, so that's really good too. It says detectives believe that Minnieweather was caught in a confrontation with Parms where he was killed in the struggle. It is believed that Parms stashed the body, that he threw away evidence, came back to retrieve evidence, and possibly the victim's body, and transported them elsewhere in his mentioned vehicle. And then it talks about the video footage that they have. Let's see here. So that's just the same thing over again that I put in my notes. I put two things in my notes that are the same. So So we got to where that he was arrested, and then so they had a press conference saying that that's where they believe that he was located. But then they had to plan for 3 weeks, I believe. It was the end of June 26th. And they planned for July the 13th that they were going to start searching the landfill. And because they had to fly in experts from the FBI. And remember, I told you guys on the last live that it makes me so sad that they have experts. Just that's their whole job, is to coordinate landfill searches. How awful is that? And a few days ago, when they did the press conference about when he was found in the landfill, they said there's only a 12% chance of actually locating a body in a landfill. And this landfill is, I believe, 400 acres, and they were able to narrow it down to a half an acre. But they still had to dig through 5 to 7 days worth of garbage, and I forget how many tons. But they said, I believe, 350 something trucks come to this landfill every day. Let me see here. So this is where it was starting, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, this is the morning that the landfill search begins. So I'll show you guys that.
First at 6 o'clock, the search for the body of 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather is now underway at the North Landfill. Today, Baton Rouge Police and the FBI providing an update on the search. News 2's Haley Jefferson's joining us live from BRPD headquarters with the latest.
Yeah, Michael, the multi-agency search is entering a new phase as they tackle the North Landfill in hopes of finding the body of 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather. Now, BRPD and the FBI are calling it a dangerous and challenging crime scene. A team of 70 people will be searching between 8,200 and 11,000 cubic yards of materials. Now, officials narrowed down the search area to less than 1 acre, with rotating teams combing through 40 yards of material at a time. To put that in perspective, enough material to cover a football field. We asked Baton Rouge Police Chief TJ Morse how they will manage the search without damaging any evidence.
We got 10 to 15 people at a time out there on a search deck, combing through tons.
Let me tell you guys what it said when they finally did find him. It said that, so they planned this for 3 weeks, and then it took them 6 weeks to find him. And there was, they processed 4,000 tons of material, and they separated them into these things called cells, and there was 27 cells, and they had 3 teams consisted of 15 searchers each. Those were the searchers, so 45 searchers, but they also had people that were helping the searchers, and there was 30 personnel, and that included medical, decontamination, and transportation. So I can't count up how many people that is, but that is a lot of people. And it said that it took them 17,493 man hours and 821 shifts. That's crazy to think about, you guys. And they said that, I forget who it was that said it, but he was like, that somebody, one of the bosses were like, okay, we can really only justify this for 1 more day. And they were like, no, just 1 more day. And then they kept saying, no, just one more day. And then they finally found him, and they're not finished yet. They're going to keep searching, until, well, they said the end of the week, because they were trying to find, unfortunately, additional remains, and any evidence too, of course. Yeah. No, it's good, you guys, to know that, I tell my friends sometimes, I'm like, it's good to know you're not in your boat. You're not rowing alone, up shit creek by yourself, basically. So it's good to know that others in the same boat, although it sucks, it's good to know that you're not alone.
Yardage of evidence, right? Painstakingly, little by little by little by little by little, so that every piece of evidence, every piece of debris out there is thoroughly examined.
Now, officials are asking the public to be patient through this process, as the search could take up to several weeks. Reporting from...
Let me show you guys this too that I took. They would update, the Baton Rouge Police Department would update every week about what they had done so far, and so this was the first day that they were starting. And then, I kept up with it. And this was, after the first week, and they had went through 57 tons the first week and 2,000 man hours. And there's the FBI, look at them lining up, you guys. They have to, the first time I ever really thought about, a landfill search was little Quentin Simon. I can't remember how long it took them to find him, but, that he was very little too, I believe. And Ja'Derrius, he was 15, but he wasn't a whole lot bigger, and it's a needle in a haystack in a bunch of haystacks, and then they would keep you updated. And then this was the second week, and they began week 3 here. And they would tell you how many how much they had searched through each week, and then it was on week 6, the second day into week 6 is when they finally located him. Hey, Carl, how are you? Good to see you. Number 13. Yep. If I'm gonna buy something, you guys, and it's $13, I usually won't buy it, or I'll give them $14. Oh, you wouldn't think I'd be superstitious, but I am bad. Let me see here. So then they give an update after the first day and then the first 8 days. And then we get to when Parms, that was the first one that I accidentally showed you guys. We get to where he's not arrested again. He's booked again, I think, because he has this new booking photo. And he is charged with second-degree rape. And some places I saw that I'm going to be talking just very little about this, you guys, about his charges, but still take care of yourselves. And I am giving a trigger warning. Let me see here. And then I found this, if I can spell it right, I found this morning in an article. Oh, you guys, my computer's wanting to restart for some reason. So he is rearrested, and it's for second-degree rape, trafficking of children for sexual purposes, and indecent behavior with juveniles. And so it was on August the 4th that, she's a witness, I think, to she might have been a witness to what happened to Ja'Derrius, but she's absolutely a victim in this instance and in some places I saw it called forcible rape, and then in other places I saw it called second degree rape, and I looked it up, and it's the same charge, and what it means is the victim is 13 to 16, the offender is at least 3 years older, and it was without consent, but it also includes rape through force or threats or certain drug-induced incapacitation. So when he was first brought in for questioning, he admitted to sending the 16-year-old money for food, cigars, and rent. He confirmed that he knew the victim was 16 years old and wanted to help her. He also admitted that the juvenile would send him pictures but couldn't remember what they were. That's his tale, but I said on mine, I bet he absolutely knew what they were. That's crazy. Hey, just in case, how are you? Good to see you. On August 4th, so not very long ago, so he was arrested 10 days after that, but she came in and she said she met Parms when she was 15. She also confirmed that Parms knew she and her family were struggling, and he would send her money and would often request inappropriate photos and make sexual comments. She told authorities that Parms said he would keep helping her if she helped him, which she believed meant keep sending photos in exchange for money. The juvenile described 3 multiple incidents to investigators where Parms reportedly committed sex crimes involving a juvenile. The affidavit details that Parms had sexual intercourse with the victim, after which he later dropped off a Plan B contraceptive pill for her to take. What a dirty, dirty dog. Oh my gosh. The trafficking of children for sexual purposes, I meant to look further into that, but I believe that can be where he sent her money over the cash apps and stuff like that. It doesn't mean necessarily what we would think that it usually means, So I wanted to show you guys this that I made. These are his charges. Remember, on the 10th, he was originally charged with the indecent behavior with juveniles and the computer aided solicitation of a minor. So he could get up to 7 years for the indecent behavior, 5 to 10 years for the computer aided solicitation. And then on the 20th, he was charged with first degree murder, and we know that's life imprisonment. Or the death penalty. I believe they still do have the death penalty in Louisiana. And then on August 14th, the latest new charges, and for the second degree rape, he could get 5 to 40 years. The trafficking of children, 15 to 50 years, or the indecent behavior with a juvenile, up to 7 years. So I thought that was interesting, that so we could kind of keep it all straight. So his mama, Ja'Derrius' mama name is Aquarius, and she posted this after her son was found, and it says, "My 15-year-old son didn't deserve this. No monster should be able to live after such a horrible tragedy. Maurice Parms should be put down like a dog immediately and expeditiously with no questions asked." And I don't disagree with her at all. Bless her heart. So then I have a few videos of where and look at him, you guys. Look at him right here. And I'm sure that's the picture that he would send to little girls and stuff. Nasty. And then here, he's trying to look all weak and demure and like, oh, I never do anything bad. I'm an upstanding citizen, you know. Oh, gag me. But I do have to say that he's innocent until proven guilty and all that stuff. But I told you guys that there was video evidence and eyewitnesses, you know. So let me see here. We'll watch this one.
Greg. All right, Steve, thank you. It took hundreds of people digging through a landfill for weeks, but tonight there is a massive break in a Baton Rouge teenager's disappearance. Our Colin Bedros is here with why officials say this major update was unprecedented. Colin.
Hey, Greg. So 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather was reported missing by his family in early June. But tonight, a breakthrough came after multiple agencies and the community teamed up to find him, leaving no stone unturned.
I can report that we've located suspected human remains, and the evidence gives me hope that these remains belong to Ja'Derrius.
Some say it takes a village to raise one son, and the work to find.
At first, guys, they just said that, you know, they have to be careful, and they said remains that were wearing the same clothes that Ja'Derrius was last seen wearing, that the clothing matched. But I think it only took 24, maybe 36 hours at the most, and it has come back that it was confirmed to be him. If I set my lives up usually like a day or two beforehand, you guys, because I'm really type A and I have to do that. And it also helps my anxiety, because if I set it up, then I won't, it's like I won't be late. Well, today I was like 3 minutes early. You know, it actually helps if I set it up early. But if you notice, I actually had to change my title, because first I had to say that remains were found believed to be him, believed to be Ja'Derrius. But then when the DNA came back, I could say that it was him, you know. And I have to brag on Elizabeth for a minute, you guys. This whole time she has kept him in her thoughts and prayers, and she's asking me for updates. And I speak on a lot of cases, and so I forget to check for updates. Some days for all of them, but Elizabeth would remind me, and I would make sure to check for his, you know. And I found out, you know, and let her know right away. So it has been confirmed since this video, is what I'm saying.
Find one of Baton Rouge's own who went missing is no different. After nearly 4,000 tons of material processed, over 17,000 man-hours, 821 search shifts, and searching for weeks, agents believe they've found Minnieweather inside a Baton Rouge landfill.
I feel extremely grateful and happy in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We're just built different. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting.
Feels like a partial victory. To know that they found potential remains of Ja'Derrius brings us one step closer to some closure for that family.
But it takes more than one team to do the job, as BRPD welcomed in support from FBI New Orleans, the National Guard, local law enforcement, and the United Cajun Navy, among others.
We had over 100 volunteers, 52 miles. We walked on my personal boots, close to 300 garbage cans, 93.
This is what I was telling you guys, that he's telling us everywhere that he looked. He said 50 miles in his own boots, 300 and something garbage cans, 3 abandoned apartment complexes, I think he said.
Dumpsters, 3 empty apartment complexes, and over 5,000 acres that we searched. Again, part of that was at the landfill as well.
Teams combed through hundreds of acres for 6 weeks, with some folks even needing medical attention from heat-related illnesses during that search. But despite the intense efforts, officials say finding success in this type of effort is unprecedented.
Someone told me that the success rate of finding someone in a landfill is 12% or less nationally. They didn't count Baton Rouge. They didn't count these people up here and all their agencies from Baton Rouge. They didn't count that. Odds could be stacked all they want. But in this city, we're going to attack those odds and we're going to win.
And the job is not finished, as officials hope to find more remains at the landfill and bring more closure for the Minnieweather family.
And the biggest part of all this is saying that young man's name, Ja'Derrius Minnieweather. He needs to be in all of our minds and our hearts.
Well, Baton Rouge police say their search will continue at the landfill as officials look to verify those remains formally and continue that investigation. Greg?
Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this one, and this is the last one I think I have.
Weeks of searching through the North Landfill, law enforcement believes they have found the body of Ja'Derrius Minnieweather. Our Riley Kramer spoke with the chief today. She's here with what the crews were able to come up with. Hey, Riley.
Hey, Greg. Baton Rouge police are calling what they found suspected human remains. And while they're still waiting on DNA testing, Chief TJ Morse says he's confident that it is 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather.
For 6 weeks, crews have searched through a Baton Rouge landfill for 15-year-old Ja'Derrius Minnieweather. Nearly 4,000 tons of material, more than 17,000 man-hours, and 821 search shifts. Then, on Tuesday morning, a breakthrough.
What we found was very obvious, to make us believe that it's suspected human remains.
DNA testing is still needed to confirm whether those remains belong to Ja'Derrius, but Morse says he's very hopeful they do. In early June, the teen was reported missing. Community support to help find him began. Maurice Parms was arrested for the murder of Minnieweather 15 days after he was reported missing.
They said that they hoped that it was Ja'Derrius. Well, yeah, of course, but geez, me too. What if they found somebody else in there? My goodness.
Investigators say their evidence led them to believe Ja'Derrius's body was placed in a trash can, picked up by a garbage truck, and taken to the North Landfill.
Certainly, I would have loved for Ja'Derrius to be in English class this week when school started. But the next best thing we could do for the family is to give them peace. And that was provided by these hardworking people. I'll tell you.
Chief Morse says getting to this point was grueling. But with Ja'Derrius's picture in front of the searchers every morning, they weren't going to give up. Morse says,
yeah, guys, that's the picture that they had out in front of the searchers every day. And we can't even begin to imagine, you guys. I go outside in shorts and a t-shirt, and in Kentucky with the humidity, oh my gosh, it's awful. It literally feels like an oven when you open the door and the heat hits you. But could you imagine with all that protective gear on too? And the humidity is probably even worse in Baton Rouge. And having all that gear on too, like I don't know how they made it. I really do not know how they made it out there. Bless their hearts. I kept asking you guys to pray for them when we talked about them because they were on my heart heavy.
He's a father of 3, including a son the same age as Ja'Derrius. He says there was one conversation he couldn't imagine having with Ja'Derrius' mother.
I couldn't imagine a day where I had to go to Miss Aquarius and say, we haven't found him and we're not going to look anymore. That was kind of unimaginable to try to have that conversation, and so we kept pushing, and I'm very thankful for everyone that pitched in to make this day happen.
Crews worked through triple-digit heat, multiple heat-related injuries, and found more than 4,000 bones that were later determined not to be human. And even after Tuesday's discovery, they're not done. Crews will return to the landfill through Friday, continuing to search for additional remains and evidence.
But it was because of the determination and grit of these professionals that this baby, a son of Baton Rouge, is going to be brought home.
Now, we were not given specifics as to what evidence led them to believe it was Minnieweather's remains that were found.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that that they found 4,000 and something bones, but those, of course, turned out not to be human. But imagine all those little bitty, and I don't remember if I told you guys, but they said that they were, remember when 9/11 happened? I think most of us were around then. We would see the searchers on their hands and knees digging through that, and that's what they told us that the searchers were doing, that it would be like. And oh my goodness, I'm so very glad that he was found, you guys. Out of a 12% chance that people are actually found in landfills, he was found. I believe that's all I have about Ja'Derrius today, guys. I want to thank you all again for hearing, for being with me when he was still missing, and then at the beginning when we found out what they believed happened to him too. And I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me and coming and listening and praying for these cases like you do. I appreciate it so very much. Before we go though, you know that I like to end on a good story, and this is a really good story. Well, what happened to her wasn't good, but how she was saved was good. This little 12-year-old girl, it was in North Carolina. I believe it was Sunday. And she was staying next door with her little friend girl, having a sleepover like we all did at 12 years old, you know? Well, her uncle tapped this little girl on the shoulder in the night and said, "Come with me," you know, and led her out to his truck. And I can't remember how many hours later. Well, it was during the night when he did that, and it was around 1 p.m. that day when a lady was driving home from her home health care job, and she said she saw this little girl run out of the woods barefooted and just drop down in a ditch by the road. And she said she had already passed her up at that time almost, and she was looking in her rear view, and nobody else stopped. Nobody else stopped for this baby. And she was like, I'm going to see what's wrong with this baby. And it was like there was woods around, and it was also near a DMV office. And so she said that she stopped, and she was like, "Do you need help, baby?" And she said, "Yes, I've been kidnapped." And so she gets her in the car and gets on the phone to the police, and is talking to the police, you know, and takes her to the police station. And when she leaves the police station, this lady, I believe her name was Jennifer, she gets hit by a car, you guys, ran into by another car, and it totals her car. So then she has to go to the hospital too, and she sees that little girl there. And she said, "Are you okay, baby?" She sees her at the hospital, you know, and so she got to meet the little girl's parents and stuff, and they thanked her. And I was like, oh my goodness, but it's like Jennifer did something wonderful, saved a life, and then she gets her car totaled. Like, I don't know. But I wanted to show you guys this video of Jennifer telling you about it in her own words.
We start tonight with a story you'll only see here on CBS 17. The woman who rescued a kidnapped child in Harnett County is sharing her story and how she helped police track down the suspect.
CBS 17's Barron James joins us live from the now with new information in this case. Barron.
Yeah, Liz and Ross, first of all, that 12-year-old survivor was brought here to the police station, brought here to safety by a woman now being called a guardian angel, a good Samaritan, and a hero.
I just thank God I was there.
Jennifer Maxwell told me that she happened to be in the right place at the right time.
You know, and I thank God she got away, not just that I was there.
She was driving home from work as a healthcare giver Sunday afternoon around 1:20 when she spotted the child clearly in distress running from a wooded area here along Highway 421 in Irwin.
And I seen a little girl run out of the woods down the embankment, and she just dropped in the ditch crying. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with that baby? She was very scratched up. Like her legs had lines all over them. Either she went through briars or thick brush, and her arms had scratches, and she was barefooted. And I said, baby, are you okay? She said, no, I've been kidnapped. And I said, are you serious?
I don't know if it was here or another video that I saw about this case, you guys, but the suspect, it took 7 hours for them to track him in the woods, and they were about to end and go home for the night, and they found him walking. And he is now on a $2.5 million bond, and it shows the house where he was. I think it was his mother's house. So his niece was there, and she had the little neighbor friend girl over to spend the night having a sleepover, and he was there too. And it looked like, that's, a really nice house to me, and so I'm just hoping that if his family can make the bond, that they don't. And how awful, it's not his mom or his niece's fault, but just to be next door, for that little girl and scared to death. Bless her heart, you guys. She needs our prayers too. And Miss Jennifer too, being in a car wreck like she was. I hate that.
The Harnett County Sheriff's Office says this man, 38-year-old Daniel Gear, had kidnapped the 12-year-old girl from his home in Lillington before daybreak Sunday after she and his teenage niece had a Saturday night sleepover.
She got in, and I called 911.
Possibly suspect still on scene there, parked in the wood line.
Maxwell took police back to where she found the child and where the suspect's truck was located behind this DMV office.
He did say that they had been walking in the woods for a couple hours. He kept pushing her. Like putting his hand on her shoulder and pushing her, telling her to walk.
And on her way back to give police her statement, Maxwell became a victim herself when a car crashed into her SUV, totaling it and leaving her scratched and bruised.
It's all swollen and bruised, and like just lacerations down my hand and my arms. And
unfortunately, Maxwell had been down a similar road before, as CBS 17 reported in May 2024, while she worked as a Johnston County school bus driver, caught on camera someone crashing into her bus.
Oh my goodness, you guys. This Jennifer seems like a great lady, and then she's been in 2 bad wrecks. Bless her heart. Goodness gracious. I always think it's weird that I feel bad for people that are in wrecks, and I feel bad for other people that are paralyzed, paraplegic, and I don't feel bad for myself. I don't ever feel like, bless my heart, I was in a bad wreck too, and I'm wheelchair dependent too, but I ever don't think about bless my heart or people should feel sorry for me, but I guess that's a good thing, but it hits me sometimes that I think about that, like, it's crazy.
Here, injuring her and multiple kids on board.
But I'm alive, so.
You're a good Samaritan. Do you have a purpose? What do you say to things like that?
I don't know. I just thank God I could be where I was. God knows if that girl didn't get away, what would have happened.
Law enforcement caught Gier by 8:15 Sunday night after a 7-hour-long manhunt using drones and K-9 officers. He's charged with first-degree kidnapping and assault and remains locked up on a $2.5 million bond and also under a judge's order not to have any contact with a child. We're live in Irwin. Baron James.
You guys know that, so they charged him with assault and kidnapping, and I'm hoping that that assault, I don't know if it would be worded differently or not, but I'm hoping that he didn't have time to do what people do when they kidnap little girls a lot. You know, I don't want to say it because I don't want to put that out there on her, but I just pray that that didn't happen to her, you know, guys. Oh, wow, Music City Mom. She says, I have a friend who was shot 3 times at work and he is paralyzed, and they gave him a year or less, and I believe that happened in 1994. Well, and he's still doing okay. Now we have a lot of, I believe that they said what used to be so rough for paraplegics before was infections that you can get. But since they have a lot more medications for that now, that that it's not so bad. Elizabeth says that she hopes people would step up and buy her a car. Me too. Me too. A lot of people get a lot more for doing a lot less, you know. But Trista, she posted this morning in my Discord. That reminds me, you guys, if you would like to join my Discord, you can email me. And my friend Trista, and I'll give you her YouTube channel too. She posts it every day on her YouTube channel too, on her community posts. She posts a devotional each day, and this morning was about getting your riches in heaven. So, you know, things here deteriorate and don't last, but you do good things and you build up your riches in heaven, you know. So that reminded me of that. I'm also going to drop Van's link. Me too, Chris. Absolutely. And Vanessa is always posting. She's posting beautiful pictures. She has an eye, you guys, for photography. That just, I don't usually see that. You know, you don't see that a lot. Everybody has a camera these days, $1,000 camera in their pocket. You know, but it's different the way that she sees things in nature, and she posts beautiful pictures and videos and stuff. So please subscribe to her channel too. Absolutely. Van says we need to stay in prayer for each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times I used to, but I've changed that way of thinking now. I'm like, well, I wish I could do more for this person or that person. And it's like, well, all I can do is pray, but that's the best thing that we can do, and we should always do that. Even if we can help more monetarily or with our time or things like that, we should still always pray for one another. Oh, you're welcome, Van. Okay, you guys, I think that that's all I have for today. And if there's ever any cases that that you guys think that oh guys, 2 days ago, I saw on Facebook this lady, her fiance went missing, right? It was also in Louisiana, I believe, but she posted videos. He walked to the neighbor's house, which is his nephew, and you can see the nephew and some other fella carrying something out in a bag that looks like shaped like a body, you know. And the last time I checked, nobody had been arrested for it. And she has pure video evidence, and she's trying to get the word out. So I've been looking into that case, and then also Savion Anderson. He is the fella that is in the Army. I believe it's the Army. And I've already put a lot of stuff together for his case. He's been missing now for I can't remember the exact date, maybe 6 weeks. and his baby was born, and he missed the birth of his first child. And so I've been looking a lot into his case too. But if there's ever any cases that you believe I could help bring awareness to, you could leave a comment under this live stream or on my community tab, or you can email me, and I don't care a bit to help in any way I can at all. I want to use my little platform for the very best that I can. Thank you, Doodlebug. Thank you so very much. Thank you guys so very much. Okay, I love you all, and I'll see you next time. I'll play us out. Oh, don't forget to say your prayers and take your vitamins too.
They tell me I'm small, but I've learned small faith moves mountains. This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never ever know what love can do once it's shared. I'm not rich in numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they're never silenced. Yet I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice read do? But I've seen hope rise when a community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing: send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tide, scared or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just aloud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing every single time. We pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name, and I trust what He's doing even when I can't see the way. This is Mo and Cole. Say a prayer for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers, take your vitamins, and remember, even something small can do really big things.